Firstly, sorry if you can hear birds chirping outside. It's spring, the sun is out, so that's just what's going to happen. Back to Black is directed by Sam Taylor Johnson and stars Marisa Abela as Amy Winehouse. This film follows Amy Winehouse's rise to fame until her tragic death at age 27. Now, going into this film, I had very low expectations. As I said, this film is directed by Sam Taylor Johnson, who directed this. I own this. No. I don't know what you're on about. And while I like some of Amy Winehouse's music, the trailers were awful. Like, they genuinely made this movie look like a parody. So let's start off with pros first. And I think the best thing about Back to Black is the performances. Now, I do think there are times with Marisa Abela's performance where when she's singing, it can come off as an impression. But in general, I think she absolutely does her best with the material. You can genuinely feel that she wanted to honour Amy. I think Jack O'Connell as Amy's ex-husband Blake is really good. Especially when we meet this character, he does a good job at showing the charm of him. And therefore, we can understand why Amy initially liked him. And I do think there are moments in this movie that are intriguing. If you know anything about Amy Winehouse, she had issues with the paparazzi. I thought some of the stuff to do with that was interesting. And also, as I kind of alluded to, some of the earlier scenes with Amy and Blake. But unfortunately, Back to Black is a very dull movie. I've said it before with music biopics, and I'll say it again. To be able to stand out, you need to have a style. That's why films like Rocket Man and Elvis succeeded. Because yes, while we did all know the direction they were heading in, they told their stories in really interesting ways. Rocket Man was this bombastic musical. Elvis was a Baz Luhrmann movie, which is a style in and of itself. Back to Black just has none of that. And the screenplay and the editing do not help with that. I think the screenplay has a lot of rather bad dialogue. There were genuinely moments where I was laughing at the dialogue in this movie, and I am pretty sure I was laughing in places I was not supposed to be laughing in. And due to the dull style and also the dialogue, the film can feel like an episode of a soap opera. If you're from the UK, I'm specifically going to mention EastEnders. The pacing is all over the place. It doesn't know when to focus on Amy's career. It doesn't know when to focus on her personal life. And that just results in everything feeling so rushed. And also, Amy can come off as quite unlikable in this movie. Now, you may be saying, Billy, they made Elton John unlikable in Rocket Man. Yeah, okay, you have a point, but I want to say this. With Rocket Man, Elton John was alive when they made that movie. He was an executive producer on it. I'm currently editing the video, watching all the footage back, and I make it sound like Elton John is dead, because I say he was alive when they made Rocket Man. I just want to say, he is very much still alive. He is not dead. He had a pretty big say into how he was depicted, and he wanted himself depicted how they did depict him in the movie. Whereas Amy isn't alive, she can't defend herself. So the fact that Mitch Winehouse, her father, and Blake, her ex-husband, come off better than she does, I just found it to be dishonest. To be honest, it feels very disrespectful. I think the cast are absolutely doing their best. It just feels like this movie exists purely to change the narrative around Mitch Winehouse and Blake. If you want to watch an Amy Winehouse movie, watch the Amy documentary that came out. I've never seen it, but I've heard a lot of people say it's a lot more honest than this movie, Back to Black. I'm going to give Back to Black a D+. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. You guys are awesome. Blu-ray Billy, logging off.